because it is nice down here, especially in the winter, or summer rather. Winter it's the same actually, it's 50 degrees all the time, so if you're underground or we lived here, we'd never know the difference. But anyway, certified miner here in the state of Pennsylvania, although I never did it full-time as an occupation. I wasn't quite that crazy, but in the younger, more foolish days, we did do it in between college semesters and, you know, school breaks and whenever we could get into a mine, because it actually paid pretty well and kept us in real good shape for football back in those days too, so it worked out very well. So I do know my way around. You don't, however, so stay with us. Me, I should say. Don't wander off and explore on your own. We do bring our own air down here, by the way. So we actually have one of our other younger tour guides, Zach, could actually drown me out from where he is. But so we actually do have to bring our own air down here, especially on a day like today. So we do circulate air through the mine so we can breathe while we're here, by the way. So if you wander off the tour, you're going to have a problem because there won't be any air. So don't wander off the tour. That's called the mine ventilation. And what that is a continuous supply of air circulating through the mine. And again, that gives us breathable air, and it does tend to remove dangerous gases that accumulate here in the mines. Because there are some dangerous gases down here, by the way, in case you didn't know that. Now you do. So by circulating air through, we vent those gases back out to the surface. So it makes it safe, just so you know. All right? So what we're going to do is take a walk through a small portion of the mine. First, we're going to talk a little bit about how things are set up, tell you a little bit about coal, more than you probably ever wanted to know. But there are some interesting things about this region here. For instance, what we have here is anthracite coal. Now, all coal starts out as plant material, just so you know. So if you want to go back about 350 million years, we'd actually be standing on the surface in a forest. What's left of the forest is coal right now. So coal is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. That's actually the chemical composition. Higher the carbon content, better quality coal that it is. So the stages of coal really are plant material, peat, lignite, subbituminous, bituminous, and then eventually anthracite forms. The difference between them, again, is carbon content. The higher the carbon content, different quality coal that you have. Once coal hits 86% carbon, then it's classified as anthracite. All right, now that's very difficult to achieve in nature. It takes a lot of pressure to squeeze everything out of plants except carbon. So, as a result, out of all the United States coal reserves, anthracite is about 5%. Out of that 5%, 90% of it is here, right here in northeastern Pennsylvania. And it lies in 4 very large anthracite coal fields. Now, you're standing in the northernmost of those 4 coal fields. This one is about 60 miles long and about 8 miles wide. So, there you have it. That's the brief history of coal. The reason we have anthracite here in the northeast of Pennsylvania is because a geological process occurred here called folding. And what that means is tremendous pressure on the surface eventually caused some of the surface areas to buckle up. And it was that pressure that caused the mountains to form here. It was that additional pressure that caused anthracite to form here. If you go past the Susquehanna River Basin, western Pennsylvania, it's all bituminous coal. It's less than 86% carbon. Still burns. This just burns slower and cleaner. So as a result, it was used primarily for home heating. So the reason they do not mine in here, and we do not mine here, is because anthracite is not used for home heating for the most part. Use it today for mainly power production. But plenty more bituminous coal in the on the planet, and it's easier to get to because it tends to lie closer to the surface. It tends to be you're able to mine it from the surface, which is a lot better than mining underground. 2 men died every 3 days here in northeastern Pennsylvania, somewhere in a deep mine. All right, so mine cave-ins are the #1 killers. So what we worry about is stuff that falls from the roof. Anything that falls from the roof is a cave-in. You know, if you're underneath a 20-pound piece of rock when it falls, trust me, that's a cave-in. So 2 men every 3 days. Mine cave-ins, #1 killers. Mine explosions, #2 killers, because we have methane here. So that's why we circulate air through here. It's one of the gases we tend to remove.